Room 12 gardeners. Look how big your radishes have grown. Do you remember how tiny they were when we started out? You could barely see the leaves growing. These are just some of them. I have more in another place. And I want to remind you of how big the seeds were when we started. These are about 5 weeks old now, and they sure have grown a lot in 5 weeks. Now this seed packet says on the back, ready to harvest, that means pick, in 21 days. That is 3 weeks. And the people who wrote this on the back weren't trying to fool you. It's just that it depends on how much sun the seeds get and the little plants get, and if they're in a big area of soil or if they're in a little pot, and the conditions really make a difference. On a farm, these probably would have been ready to pick in 3 weeks, but here we are at 5 weeks, and we're going to pick them this week. I read that that radishes taste the best when they are the size of a marble. But I've never, unless you pick them really soon after they start growing, I've never seen one that small. The ones I buy from the store look about like this, and they taste fine. And the ones we have, look at this one. This is a really big radish, but not all of the ones that we have grown here are that size. Some of them are quite a bit smaller, and some of them are funny shapes. So when we pick your radish, don't be too disappointed if it's a smaller one. It just means that that particular seed wasn't meant to grow as big as some others. I have some other radishes to show you. I went to school on Friday for the first time in a couple of months, and I went on the Room 12 patio where we have the containers, and I had forgotten that I planted some radish seeds there in February. And when I looked at these plants, look at the size of this radish. There are 4 of them. I'll show you some others. Look at this one. And you can also see on this one, this still has soil on it. See the root? Besides the radish is the root, here's another root and little tiny root hairs that are growing out too. So the radish part that we eat a root vegetable, but it still has another root that sucks up the water into the plant and into all the leaves. There are lots of different kinds of radishes besides our cherry bell radishes that we planted. These are some others that we planted a few years ago. I don't think you did, but another class did. These are called icicle radishes, and they're long and white. They're about 6 inches long when they're ready to harvest, about this long, half of a ruler. And then there are daikons, which are Japanese, they use them in Japanese food a lot, and they're 14 inches. So it's 12 inches of the ruler and 2 more inches. They are that long, and they're white too, and they're very spicy. There are also radishes of all different colors, black, and once we planted some Easter egg radishes that came out purple and blue and pink and all different colors. I want to tell you about one other kind of radish. Oh, no, never mind. I had a picture that I want to show you, but I don't have it here, so forget that. Okay, these radishes, I noticed the other day that they have a lot of holes in the leaves, and I didn't know why, so I looked and looked at these plants, these leaves, and I found, see if I can find, oh, on the back of this leaf, there's a round circle, white circle called a web. And I learned that that web is made by what is called an owlet moth. This is a little plastic moth, and it's not an owlet moth, but it's about this size. And the owlet moth comes and at night makes a little web here, lays eggs in that web, and then the eggs, after about 3 days, the eggs hatch out into tiny, tiny green caterpillars. let me see if I can find one on here. I'm going to show you. They're getting bigger now. I've been looking at them for a few days, and every day they grow a little bigger. I don't know if you can see this or not. There's one right by that hole on that leaf. Right there. And I'm going to try to get them off. Or maybe it's a girl, I don't know. I'm going to try to take it off with my toothpick here so you can see it better. Come on, little caterpillar. They're called cutworms, but they are actually caterpillars. They are not worms. Well, it came on my thumb. Here it is on my thumb. Do you see how it lifts up part of its body? It's like a little inchworm. It flattens out when it crawls, but right now it's up in a little bump. It's called a cutworm, but it's really a little caterpillar. And they eat and eat and eat these plants. They love the leaves of these plants. So I'll put it back on here. I'm not going to hurt it because in a few days we're going to pick these anyway. There, it's back on the leaf now. All right, now I have one more thing to tell you. Most people in this class have done a really good job of listening to the videos and giving great answers in your responses. You've really learned a lot. So everybody who has been so good about this is going to be a radish champion. You're going to get one of these blue ribbons for first prize, and it will be with a bag of your belongings that you pick up next week at school. Congratulations, radish champions. This is our last video of the year, our last garden video. And I want to thank you for watching the videos and for your wonderful responses. I miss you all, and maybe we can garden at school again sometime. Have a nice summer. Bye.